Hello everyone and welcome to the first how-to video. In this video I'm going to show you how to use Blender. So as you can see we are in an empty Blender file right now. So here's some basic key controls. Alright, so A is to select all. The middle key button is supposed to, move it all around. Shift middle is just, shifting, where you want to, see the model at, so you can get a better idea. Okay. Control Z is obviously to undo, and Control Shift Z is to redo. So let me just... Shift Control Z is redo. Alright, now for the other functions. So, this. You use the left button to select it, and you could do a multitude of things with it. The right button is to display this, the object context menu. And you could do shade smooth or shade auto smooth. You can convert it to a curve, mesh, grease pencil, or just curves. You can set its origin to somewhere else. This will be useful for later. You can also do duplication, rename the active object, mirror, snap it, parent it to something, which is really useful if you're doing something like, rigging a model to a mesh that you have. If you're animating, you can insert a keyframe, and of course, you can just hit X to delete it. Anyways, you can do X to delete it, and yeah. So there are a couple of things that you can do with selecting any active object in the workspace. You can hit G to move it around, and that'll move it in the three cardinal directions being X, Y, and Z. Of course, you can also hit Alt-G to reset it. Next, you can hit R, and you can rotate it at any angle. To reset it, just hit Alt-R. And you can size it. So you can make it as big or as small as you want. And to reset it, just hit Alt-S. And if you want to rotate it in a specific direction, move it, or size it in a specific direction, you just hit G and then X, Y, or Z to move it in any of the three cardinal directions. You can R on the X, Y, or Z axes, and you can also hit Alt-R to reset it. And then if you want to size it on any of the cardinal directions, you can hit S and then hit X, Y, or Z to size it, and you can hit Alt-S to reset it. Now what about light sources? Light sources are actually a really cool thing. If you're doing something like graphical effects, there are multiple different light sources you can use to make your models stand out. This right here is just the default. And for the camera, you can just hit 0 on your numpad, or your number pad. If you have a keyboard that has the number pad to actually, give me a second. But yeah, if you have a numpad, you can use numpad 0 to activate your camera. Alright, let's go back to viewport shading, which is where you will see your model. Alright, now, another thing you can actually like do with the numpad, let me quickly hit Alt-Z real quick because I accidentally activated X-ray mode. Alt-Z activates X-ray mode. Don't do it if you're on a PC and you have an NVIDIA. But if you do have an NVIDIA game card, just hit this. Alright, now for the numpad. You can hit 1 to go to the front orthographic, which sets you on, like, the y-axis. It's meant to, you know, like, show the front of your object. 3 to go to the right orthographic. 5 to do, user orthographic, which is sort of useful, but, you know, it's a little confusing. 7 to do the top orthographic, which shows the top of your object, and 9 to do the bottom orthographic. So you can also... I just like using Control more. Okay. That's enough tomfoolery. Alright. And really, that's all the basics of Blender you need to know in object mode. Is just how to move a object. Sorry for the voice crack. How to move an object. How to reset said object. How to rotate an object and also reset its rotation. How to size an object and reset its size. And numpad functions. And also the light. There are multiple different ways you could do a light source. Let me just hit Shift A, which will bring up our add menu. And you can like do multiple light sources. So you can add a sun source. I'm going to move it to the upper Z axis, and this is what will give us our sunlight. Really cool. You can also do spotlight. I'm not sure how the spotlight works yet, but you know, if you do know how it works, please leave a comment down below because I'm a noob at this. So, alright. And you can also do area lighting, which I'm also not sure how this works. Again, if you can leave a comment saying what it'll do, then I will forever love you. Alright. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Viewport shading, just normal viewport shading. This is where you'll see like textures and all of that. I usually hit that button, the material preview button, whenever I'm needing to like texture a file in some way, or rather texture the model using a texture file that I created. If you want to learn how to make a texture file, I will